Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Code Mind. I am Alpna and today we will discuss the concept of the recursion. This is part 1 and in this we will discuss about the basic concepts of recursion. And in part 2 we will discuss about the examples of recursion. Before going to start, please hit the subscribe button and bell icon. So let's start with our topic, recursion. Before going to recursion, we will first see the basic concepts of function. So function is a single or a multiple statement that perform a specific task is called a function. Syntax of the function is return type, name of the function and argument. So return type is what the function is returning. For example, void if the function is not returning anything. Integer if the function is returning integer type. Float if the function is returning float type. Depends upon what the function is returning, the return type will be that for the function. Body is the function, what the function is performing, what the task function is performing, that we will write inside the body, inside the curly braces. For example, void a int of x. So a is the function name, void is the function return type, that is the function is not returning anything, integer x. So x is the parameter which is of the data type integer. Curly braces we will write the body of the function, that is printf percentage dx. Printf is a predefined function which will print the output to the console screen, and it is printing the value of the x what it is passed here. So types of the function. There are two types of the function, that is the predefined function or defined library function and a users defined function. The defined function or predefined functions which are already defined in the language, that is your printf, scanf and strlen. There are many more other functions are also there which is already defined in the language. Users defined function which is defined by the user. For example, main. Everyone have a big confusion that either the main function is a user defined function or a predefined function. So remember one point, that main function is a user defined function. The next concept is the elements of the function. What are the elements of the function? So the first element is the return type. The second one is the name of the function. The third one is the argument or the parameter, and the fourth one is the body of the function. So first one is the return. As we already seen, all these four things can only make the function. So if the function is having all these four things, then it is called the function definition. If it is having the return type as well as name of the function and the argument or parameter and the body of the function, then it is called the function definition. Then the prototype declaration. What do you understand by the prototype declaration? If the function is having only the return type, name of the function and argument or parameter, then it is called the prototype declaration. In prototype declaration, it must have a semicolon at the end. For example, void a integer. Calling of a function is a of 3, means a is the function name and 3 is the parameter what we are passing, and 3 is of the integer type. So this function is not returning anything because this is not stored here in anywhere. For example, if we have written like c is equals to a of 3, then this function, whenever we call this function will return something which is to be stored in the C, depends upon the data type of the C. For example, void main a of 5, 6. So this is called the caller or the calling, and this is called the calling of the function. So a is the function name with the two types of parameter, with the two types of values it is passing, which is 5 and 6. So whenever it will see this statement, it will directly jump to here. That is this is called the calling of the function, and this is called the callee or called. So void a, this function is returning nothing. This is the function name, int of I and int of j. So 5 is stored in I and 6 is stored in j. So This is the body of the function, which is the printf %d, which is printing both the value of I and j. But this is the postfix increment operator and this is the prefix decrement operator. If you have any confusion in these two, I have already made the video for the postfix and prefix operator. See the link for the in the description box. So we are having the function A is inside main function. This is to be noted that function A is inside the main function. So now we will come to a recursion. So when the caller and callee are the same name, both the caller and the callee are having the same name, then such a function is called a recursive function. And the process of calling itself is called a recursion. For example, void A. So this is the function name which has nothing return type, means the void is the return type and this is the A. So both the caller and the callee is having the same name, then it is called the recursion. And the function is calling itself is called the recursion. So recursion is the replacement of the loops. Recursion is the replacement of the loops. To implement recursion, we must have a condition that is called a base condition, means at which recursion end. So we must have the condition at which the recursion end. If we don't have the condition, then the recursion will go at the infinite. So we must have a base condition where the recursion will end. So there are some of the advantages of the recursion. For example, programming comfort. If we use a recursion in our program, then it will be simpler and shorter than the iterative code. Iterative codes are nothing but a loop and easy to trace. The disadvantage of the recursion is the more space complexity. It takes so much of space in the memory for its execution. That's all for today. Thank you. If you like the video, please hit the like and subscribe button and press the bell icon to get the latest notifications from my side. Feel free to comment if you want any other topic video.